Welcome to the Co-Create Innovation Hub. Here in our Why Not Here series, we're so glad you joined us. I'm in the studio today with Tal Swicegood of Town Square, talking about all things community development, what's happening here at the Innovation Hub, how you can get involved and grow your own idea and business. Jump in. Hope to see you soon. Okay, welcome. We're inside the Co-Create Innovation Hub today with Tal Swicegood, founder of Town Square. So one of the original members down here at the hub. Guy bought in early, has a real vision for community. So I'm excited to ask a couple questions in our series we're calling Why Not Here, because that's what we're about at the Innovation Hub is why not, instead of why the other places exist or grow or have ideas. And we're saying, why would we not see that here? So Tal, welcome, man.
Thank you. Yeah, it's. I'm really glad this place is here. You know, I had this before I even knew you guys were putting it together. I was like, why does a place like this not exist here? And lo and behold, not much longer later.
Yeah.
And y'all announced what y'all were doing, so I was very excited.
Yeah, I was excited to get introduced to Tal. His way of thinking is real similar. Like, I've appreciated the fact that he is here to see other people succeed, not only like in his own company, and I feel like that embodies the vision and values of why we exist, and to see other people succeed, not just our own. So how do we put people in an environment that can collaborate? So talk to us for a minute, like what drew you into the space? Like when we think about the hub, and again, maybe let's just drill down real quick into why. Like why, when we say why not here, physically, why are you here? Why is your company headquartered here?
Well, it's for the community, really. Like we could go somewhere else and get an office space somewhere else, but then we lack like the community of people that are here to build something, right? And that's something that I got to experience early on in high school, this thing called East Lab, where you got to work on your own projects. And I loved that class, and I kind of just wanted to see it as an adult, like work on a project importantly around other people, not just at home. I did that for a few years working at home, and that's great. But after a while, I get to pitch ideas by you sometimes, and you give me a perspective that if I was just at home alone all the time, I would never have considered.
Right.
And now that makes that idea better.
Yeah. Well, that's the nature, like, of any kind of innovation, right? Like you start with some idea and it turns into something else. So,
yeah,
you know, that's the nature of it.
Here's a fun fact for you. Netflix started as a shampoo company. Did you know that?
No.
I read the book on how they built it, and the initial idea was shampoo in the mail.
No way.
And now it became Netflix. So
wow.
I'm glad he got feedback on that idea, right?
Yeah,
from other people. And they're like, no, don't do that.
Wow. I'd never heard that. The one that always got me, which they were already kind of into the idea of Airbnbs, but they started selling like Cheerios, basically like Cheerios, and they were called Obama-O's. The only way they could fund their project, they could figure out during the election when President Obama was running, was they made these Cheerios and they called them Obama-O's, and they sold a ton of them. And that just funded the rest of their idea that they were trying to develop. So
really?
Another crazy fun facts. Yeah.
Wow.
So whenever you came into this space, like what were you working on? Tell us kind of what you're working on right now. Like tell us a little bit about what problems you're trying to solve and what your company's about here.
Absolutely. So when we first started, we just started a podcast called Level Up Russellville with no real long-term plan, but I knew I needed to start doing something to generate some sort of momentum, getting into the local community and taking my online business and kind of moving away from that. So yeah, about the time I heard about y'all, I had met up with Obi Rosales. He started the Spanish version, and we wanted to build a podcast studio, which we're in right now, and needed a space to do that, and then work on some bigger ideas. The core idea or mission, I should say, has always been, how do we help those around us, help the local business owners that fail? All too often we see negativity online, or we hear this a lot, which is like, I didn't even know y'all were there. So how do we fix that problem? How do we make people aware of the resources around them? Because everyone's on this all the time. But the real estate for this is so small, and so many ads and so many things out of Hollywood and LA and Silicon Valley and New York, which is cool. Humanity's more connected than ever, but not with our neighbors, not with the business owners around us. And the other day, actually, a couple weekends ago, I was at Walmart and I saw a gentleman there who was working there, and I'm glad he's got a job. But he was a business owner here locally, and his business shut down in the last 18 months. And it was like, man, I know he had a good product. I don't know about a service, but I wish that we could have helped him in some way, Like, and that's really what the mission is. How do we give everyone a good chance at winning?
Yeah, yeah. And we've, seen you bring in, it's been great. So there's been local government, nonprofit organizations, like just bringing value and highlighting things and bringing some education around, I don't know, things that we just don't even know exist in our community. And I think you guys are such, champions for that, like, community. So I don't care if that, again, could be city government or nonprofit or, the library over here that people are coming in talking about. So we appreciate you guys being in here. So what do you think, if you're talking to someone who's thinking about bringing their company in, whether it's in this space, in a desk or private office, like what would you tell them? What are the values that you see, or what are things that are valuable that you've experienced? And maybe just talk for a minute about that.
First off, just do it, because the real ROI of coming here is you cannot put that on paper. Like, yeah, we can make an argument that all these amenities you get are great, and they are, but the real value is the people you meet. Like, what I realized pretty quickly after coming here is, like, there's so many talented people that maybe don't even have an office, but just sit in the front lobby every day. There's cybersecurity experts, there's web developers, there's lawyers, there's accountants, there's people that are really thinking about big problems. I mean, seriously. And then just bringing in a client or a prospective client, and they're looking at the place, they're like, whoa, like, it's,
yeah,
you can't, it would be very expensive to buy that on your own, It's like, it's very easy to just tap into it. So yeah, since getting involved here, a lot of crazy stuff has happened. I've been in meetings with literally all the way up to FEMA and the Department of Defense in this room. We've done Zoom meetings with those types of organizations. We've gotten grants. We've gotten seats at the table for large pools of funding at federal and state levels for different projects. And it's like, that would not have happened, or I don't see how it could have happened without just being around the right people. So this is like a hub for all the people that just want to grow into something, right? So that's why you should come here.
Excellent. Well, what do you see, like, for the community, maybe while you're still talking about that? How do you view this space, like, in what we're trying to accomplish? And so, again, in context of Why Not Here, we're growing, ideas and people, and just this mentality that, these things can exist here. These companies can headquarter here, or this idea could start and stay here. Like, when you think about that, how do you see this space, like, playing a role in that? So if we're, talking about community and we're located right here in the heart of downtown, Russell, how do you see this place playing a role in accomplishing those things, like, from your perspective as a business owner?
Well, it could be anything from a starting point to also an end point. Like, you can come here and you can, like, the type of company we run, like, we could stay here for years and continue to grow and hit huge revenue goals and targets and grow this company. But also, let's say someone's thinking about starting a retail business or an e-commerce company. They may think, well, I need warehouses, I need equipment. You do need those things eventually. But what you're going to benefit from the most at the beginning, speaking is from personal experience here, is being around the people that can give you that feedback and challenge you, show you new technologies that are going to make your job easier. So you will, if you're trying to do those things, you may eventually need to leave or get more space. But the way I see it playing a role in the overall community is just, helping facilitate connections. That's the big thing. Mm-hmm. Just it comes back to why here versus at home or in a coffee shop. It's the people you're going to run into.
Yeah. Yep. So is there a moment where you've seen that happen, or where have you seen that kind of spark where conversations happen or connections happen? Maybe you've met someone you didn't know, maybe you're a part of, like, coffee and collaboration times that we have. Like, describe maybe a moment where you've seen this come to life in reality.
Oh, man. It's hard to think, because there's actually so many of them, from people like people I work with daily now, the way I met them was met someone here and they just mentioned my name to somebody. Mm-hmm. There's been, it's actually hard because there's so many. You know, the coffee and collaboration thing we do every month. I met some great people. Last week, a new real estate agent to town. But we didn't really talk about real estate. We just talked about ideas because he has a ton of ideas and he was able to listen to some of the stuff we're working on and provide feedback. So when I think about growing a company and achieving the things we want to achieve, it's funny because like all the people we need to do it, from building it to selling it to scaling it to funding it to doing everything. Like I've met all those people here. So I'm not even thinking about hiring, outsourcing. I used to outsource a lot of work on Fiverr, Upwork to people in different countries. But now it's like it just all comes to you, you know. Don't even have to do that anymore.
Yeah. Well, I think if we are fast forwarding 5, 10 years, 15, 20 years down the road, again, putting people in proximity, it's like there is the speed in which we can get there so much faster. So again, your ideas and the things that you come with, just having that loop of feedback or the right relationship and connection. So, I think about some of our role in being a literal hub, like a place that's in the center and lots of things go out from it. But for example, when we have ATU, Arkansas Tech University brings their students in and brings actual pitch ideas from their business, from their school of business. And you have 4 or 5 panelists from, loan officers to, higher ed and business owners, and you're getting that feedback immediately, like you're getting that immediate feedback, but you're also getting a connection. So some of those have come back, and some of those we've said, hey, bring that back here so we can sit and visit and see how we can help you take some more steps towards it. So those things get exciting to me because I'm thinking, if we didn't exist, I don't know where those things happen. There's not an intentionality to it. It may happen, but there's no intentionality of how do we grow that like here together. So I love seeing anytime there's meetings and your meeting or someone else's meeting with someone in the conference rooms, and I know like there's something that's happening in there because they're in the room together. Like there is collaboration, and there's going to be something that comes out of that meeting that exists that probably didn't exist before. So again, I think about that's the return that's hard to measure. If you're home by yourself or if you're in a private office, like you can rent space anywhere. We say that all the time. Like we're trying to do more than the space. Like, yes, we have an excellent space, but we're trying to create more than just that.
Absolutely. Yeah, even the events, like you said, the events that have been hosted here, like that Connect and Accelerate weekend. Got so many great businesses that I didn't even know were around here, from rock climbing companies to music companies to it was just all across the board very interesting. I'm excited to see more of those, and I know the community really liked it.
Yeah, we'll keep growing it. So tell me, like maybe one project. Give me a project that you're working on right now that you're excited about. Like pick one that you're most excited about.
One that I'm most excited about. So right now, of course, we've got this podcast room we're in, and we're continuing I want to see this thing operating as much of the day as possible. So something we've recently launched is for any nonprofit or mission-driven business. We get them in here at very little cost or no cost, once or twice a month to spread their message. And the way that we fund that, like what's in it for us, is number one, we just like to see it. But also, we've received some grant funding to get all the equipment in here, and that's really cool. And that's something I learned since starting this is grants are not just for nonprofits. There's actually grants that apply for for-profit companies and are non-governmental. Like they're just foundations out there that will give you XYZ money. So being able to take there's a lot of work that goes into everything in here, from the video editing to making sure the camera settings are right, the lighting, and that's a big barrier of entry. So just being able to take that and give other people a platform to market themselves or share their ideas, that's why we show up every day. And if you're listening to this and you want to get in on it, you just got to reach out.
Yeah.
Just reach out to the hub, reach out to Town Square.
Do it.
And even if you're nervous, you were nervous, but now look,
do it anyway.
It's completely natural.
Yeah. I don't know, talking. Maybe just stop talking sometimes. So maybe final thoughts that you've got. So if you were asked the question, where do I get plugged in? How do I get involved here? What would you tell someone as someone who's invested here? Like you have invested here, you've chosen, you could do this anywhere. You've chosen to grow your company like from this space. Like what would you tell someone who's considering that or on the fence about that, trying to decide, like maybe give why you would recommend it?
Yeah. I mean, first of all, if you want to come look at it, you can always just walk in the front, right? But the way I recommend it is to get a tour from somebody, because they'll be able to show you everything. And just come to one of the events that we're hosting, whether it's a collaboration meeting or a networking event, because then you can meet the people that are working here, and really just you'll figure out real quick if it's for you. I feel like it's pretty obvious as soon as they walk in. But again, as far as why to do it, if you just need that extra push, need that motivation, the people around you. If you're completely fine working from home and you've got, you're not trying to grow, maybe you've got to, maybe you don't need to be around this. But if you're looking for something more, if you're looking to grow something, then clearly this is the spot. I don't know where else you would go in town, or really even in this region. There's nowhere to go, and that's why y'all built it. Why not here?
Yeah. Well, and the more, there is more exciting connections and partnerships that are coming that we'll get to announce, coming up. But, looking at our region and our area systemically, there are things that we're wanting to see that we want to see happen in our children, my own kids. Like I want to see them happen, and I want to see it happen all the way out here to some, grown adult human that has an idea that they want to begin and start and just need some extra, whether it's people, resource, some expertise, like a space that you can come in and get that. That's the value part of hopefully what we're bringing to the table. So we appreciate like what you're doing, like that you are here, and the valuable piece of the concern you have for this community to grow. Like if you haven't checked out Town Square, you guys come on in here, get in here, meet with Tal, meet with Obi, meet with their team. Like if you've got an idea, you've got a nonprofit and you've got something that's happening that needs exposure, it's an excellent way for that to happen. And when I say excellent, I mean it's done with excellence. So if you haven't checked them out or you haven't been down here, just book an appointment with these guys. You won't be sad that you did that, I promise.
Yep. Yeah, you can call or text 479-397-4600.
Or online, I'm assuming there's a
our
website is what?
rvtownsquare.com. RV is in River Valley. One of these days we'll get to townsquare.com, but that's expensive.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's like $100,000. We'll get there one day.
Ouch.